Okay, good morning, all of you. Good morning, all of you. Myself, Jay Bhargav, Department of Computer Science, CIET. So, today we are going to discuss internet programming, the basic concepts of internet programming, and what are the examples of how to create tables as well as HTML tags and introduction to SEML, right? So these are the basic tags of SEML, right? So here B in the sense bold tag and the center tag, italic tag and underline tag and body background color and marquee tag, right? So these are the some basic tags which are used in the HTML concept. Okay, so and the next one is examples of HTML in the sense. So here table tag, define HTML table. So each table row is defined as tr and table header defined as th and table data is defined as td, right? So if you are creating the table on the web page, we need to use these tags, right? So the first one is table tag and tr table row and th table header, td in the sense table data, right? And if you are displaying the image on the web page, we use image tag, img tag, right, which is used to display the image on web page, right? So in this if you are using this image tag, so we use two required attributes. The first one is src and the next one is alt. So src specifies the path to the image, right? Alt specifies an alternate text for the name, alternate text of the image, right? So for example, if you are writing the image tag like image src equal to write the image name and write the image name dot png, alt equal to sample image, that is the name of particular image, right? So and write the image text, image width and height. For example, here the width equal to 500, height equal to 350. Okay, so that is the concept. And the next one is and the next concept is what are the basics of Java, right? So here Java is an object oriented programming language developed by James Golians in microsystems in the year of 1995, right? So here Java programs are platform independent, so which means so that programs are run any operating system. Java programs are platform independent. What is a platform independent? In the sense that programs are run in any operating system with any processor, right? So that is called a platform independent. So Java is a set of features of C and C++. It has obtained its format of C and OOPS features from C++, right? So it can be defined as a collection of objects so that communicates via invoking each other's method. Okay, it's a collection of objects. Java is a collection of objects and to communicate via invoking each other methods, right? So coming to the features of Java, there are several features of Java. The first one is Java is object oriented, and the second one is Java is platform independent, and third one is Java is very simple when compared to other programming language. Java provides security and it's a portable and multi-threaded. Java is supported to multi-threaded, right? So not only this, there are several features are there. Let's we discuss about one by one. Java is object oriented. So here Java supports the features of object oriented programming. Its object model is simple and easy to explain, right? So that is, and the next one is Java, it's a platform independent. C and C++ are platform dependent languages. Platform dependence in the sense, so only some operating system, only few operating systems supports C and C++ languages. So but whereas Java, it can support any operating system and any platform, right? So that is the concept. So here now the application programs written in one operating system that cannot run any other any other operating systems, right? So that is called platform dependency. Okay, so but whereas Java, we can run in one operating system, sorry, we can write the program in one operating system, we can run in any operating system. That is called platform dependence, platform independence. Okay, so here Java is a platform independent. The next one is Java is very simple. Java has introduced many features of C and C++, which makes it very easy to understand, right? So and the next feature is it's Java provides secure, right? So so here it's a Java provides portable, right? It provides portability running the any programming languages, right? So any programming language, and it supports multi-threaded, right? Multi-threading programming features in Java allows to use write the programs in platforms several different tasks simultaneously. So that is called multi-threading programming languages, right? So these are the features of Java. The next one is IO streams. IO streams in the sense input output streams. In Java, streams are sequence of data that are read from the source and written in destination, right? So input stream, which is used to just read the data from the source, and output stream, which is used to write the data in the destination, right? So here input stream, which is used to read the data from the source from the several resources like keyboard or mouse, whatever it is, and the output stream in the sense output stream which is used to write the data to the destination. So for example, just we are writing the small program that is called class hello world public static void main string, that is called arguments, and system.out.println hello world. Using the keyboard, so you can give the data using the input data stream, you can give the data, that is called hello world, right? And it's using this printf like system.out.println, right? So it displayed on the output on the screen. Okay, for example, in our first hello world example, so we have used system that is called print out of stream. So using this system.out, it can print the data on the output screen. Okay, so that is the input output stream. So whereas input output stream, you can read the data from the source, that is this is the source, right? So here you can read the data from the source, and using this data stream, the data is from source to program, right? So here writing to destination in the sense from the program to display the data in the destination, right? So that is the concept. So types of data streams in the sense depends upon the data stream. It holds classification into byte stream and character stream, right? So byte stream and character stream. So what is the byte stream in the sense? Byte stream which is used to read and write a single byte, that is called 8-bit of data. So all byte stream classes are derived from the data object classes. It's called input stream and output stream. So whereas input stream, you can create the input stream. How to create the input stream? In the sense input stream space object 1 equal to new file input stream, right? So I think this is the syntax for to write the input stream, right? And the next one, there are several methods of input stream. The first one is read, and the next one is read byte of date array, and third one is available, and the next one is skips, and the next one is close. So using this read method, you can read 1 byte of data from the input stream, that is 8 bit of data from the input stream. Just you can read the 1 bit of data from the input stream. So here input stream from the input devices, like input devices also, right? So here from the keyboard you can read the 1 byte of data. You can read the data from the keyboard, right? So or mouse, whatever it is, like from the input key, input using the input stream. The next one is read byte of array. So here read byte from the stream stored in the specified array. So for example, if you are reading the bulk of data, read bytes from the stream and stored in the specified array, right? So using this input stream, you can using this read byte array, you can read the bulk of data. And third one is available, right? So what is the available input stream? In the sense, it returns the number of bytes available in the input stream. So how many bytes available in the input stream, that is called available, right? And the next one is mark. So using this input stream method, just mark the position in the input stream up to the data has been readed, right? So here, so just mark the position of the input stream up to which data has been readed, right? So that is called mark. And the next one is skip. So skip in the sense, skip and discard the specified number of bytes so from the input stream. And the last method of input stream in the sense, close the using this method you can close the input stream. So these are the several methods are used in the input stream. And coming to the output stream, so in order to create an output stream, we must import Java IO output stream package first, right? So if you are working with this output stream, we must import the Java IO output stream, right? So once we import this package, so we can create the output stream. So how to create the output stream? In the sense, output stream space output stream space object equal to, so new file stream, right? So using this method we can create the output stream. Okay, so the same as there are different methods of output stream. The first one is write, and the second one is write byte of array, and the next one is finish, and the next one is close. So what is write? In the sense, write the specified byte to the output stream, right? So what is write output stream? In the sense, write the specified byte to the output stream. So and the next one is write byte of array. So write the byte from the specified array to the output stream. Okay, so that is the concept. And the next one is finish. In the sense, it's a focus to write the all data present in the output stream to the destination. Okay, and the last one is close the output stream. So there are a few methods. These are the methods which are used in the output stream. Okay, and next to this information about a bit stream. And coming to the character stream, so character stream which is used to read and write a single character of data. So which is used to just read and write single character of data. So all the character stream classes are derived from the base abstract classes reader and writer, right? So what is the reader classes and what is the writer classes? So what is the reader classes? In the sense, the reader classes of Java IO package is option superclasses that represent the stream of characters, right? That represent the stream of characters. And what is the writer classes? In the sense, write the class of Java package is an abstract superclasses represent the stream of characters, right? So the first one is how to read the classes from the Java IO package, and how to write the classes from the Java package, Java input output package. And the next one is file and directory, right? So generally, yeah, before going to file and directory, what is a in general words, what is a file? In the sense, file is a collection of data or collection of information, right? So file is a collection of records, or record is a collection of fields. That is the meaning of file. So file is a named as a location that can be used to store the related information. For example, uh, for example uh, for example, main.java. Here, Java file that contains information about the Java program. So here main is a one file name. Here .java is a extension of particular file, right? So and the next one is directory. So what is a directory? In the sense, a directory is a collection of files and subdirectories. A directory inside a directory, that is called subdirectory. For example, a folder contains another folder, that is called a subfolder, right? In the same manner, so a directory is a collection of files and subdirectories. Right? So here a directory inside a directory, it's called subdirectory. So here how to create a file object, how to create a Java file object. To create a object of file, so we need to import the Java package, Java IO packages, right? Once we import the Java packages, then you can create the object, right? So how to create the Java object file? In the sense, import Java IO file, that is called import the class. So file my object equal to new file of, write the file name .txt, that is the extension of particular file, right? So here file space my object equal to new file of file name .txt. So here file name file name in the sense, there is a one file, for example like abc.txt. So here txt is the extension name of particular file, right? So these are the methods which are used in the file and directories, right? So first one is can read, and the next one is can write, can create a new file, delete, exit, get name, get absolute path, length, list, and mkdir, right? So what is the first one? In the sense, can read, right? So what is the meaning of can read? In the sense, so test whether the file is readable or not, just to test whether the given file is readable or not. That is the first method. And the next one is can write, the same as the test whether the file is writable or not, just whether the test is readable or writable, right? That is the concept. So that is the concept. The next one is create a new file, right? So using this method you can create a empty file, okay? And the next one is delete. Just I want to delete one file in our directory, we can use this method, that is called delete. The next one is exit, in the sense, test whether the file is exit, right? And the next one is get name, in the sense, return the name of a file. Just I want to find the name of a particular file, we can use get name. You can use this method, that is called get name. The next one is get absolute path. So return the absolute path, path of path of the file. And the next one is length. As using this method, you can find the size of a particular file in bytes point of view, right? The next one is list. So what is meant by what is the meaning of list? In the sense, it returns an array of the file in the directory, right? And the next one is mkdir. Using this method you can create a directory, right? So these are the different methods which are used in the files concept. Okay, thank you all of you.